Welcome to our channel. We weren't going to do a story today, absolutely not. But there was such an incredible court case. The courts have ruled that libtardism is a disease. That's right. If you're libtard, it's a disease. This is brought to you by Noble Gold, where I used to buy 5 of these for $100. One of them was $20 for a Morgan dollar. And today, if I go to the dollar store or the gold store, it cost me $100. I want real silver when I buy silver. So I go to Noble Gold because they run it past this machine and find out it's real. There are so many fake silver and gold coins out there right now. It's incredible the amount of fakeness that there is. Yeah, I got to be careful on that $100 bill. I have the same strategy I've had for 15 years. I save $1,000 a month and I buy gold and silver. And it has gone up in price. It's now sitting around $82. Have I made a good choice? I think so. The FBI hasn't seized it. And when I get ready to turn the gold and silver in, if I bought it from Noble Gold, guess what? They cash it in for me. I don't have to worry about going to a local gold and silver dealer. I just send it back to Noble Gold. Anyway, on to the news. This is an Oreo cookie. It has the Star of David on it. You can look it up on the internet. Now, you feed your kids an Oreo cookie? I couldn't believe this when I did this. You can get the inside lit because it's made of rapeseed oil, the same oil that makes your cows sick. Does food burn? Of course it does. So is this made of food or is this made of all chemicals? Very interesting, isn't it? Got to keep the window open for this one. That is an Oreo cookie. Blew my ever-loving mind to realize that that ain't food. That's chemicals. Go ahead, feed your kids this. Wonder why they're going off the wall. Why they're getting stupid. And then you give them this. Like there's all these dead geese in New Jersey right now. Tens of thousands of them. Because the Department of War is very busy. So guess what? Like Bill Gates said, we'll have another pandemic. You will line up for these. No, I won't. Kiss my rear, Bill Gates double. Anyway, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that tariffs are not legal under the Emergency War Powers Act. During a time of war, they're not legal. Now the Supreme Court from their underground base under Denver, because they haven't been in their Supreme Court headquarters, Supreme Court building for 6 years, they've ruled that President Trump can no longer rule the country in a time of war. They've gone, the CIA's gone. You think they're still alive down there? Right. They probably killed him. I don't know what happened to him, but they haven't surfaced except once during the masked charade that they had. And the U.S. Supreme Court also ruled that the Pebble mine, 200 miles west and a little bit south of Anchorage, the Department of Justice filed a brief that said that mine can't continue. Yet not one person from the Department of Justice who had a degree in forest management did a survey there. Not one person with a degree in range management or wildlife management, not some affirmative action hiree who has a 2-year degree like our city of Tacoma. They hired an affirmative action hiree who hired somebody. They don't know the difference between riparian vegetation and desert vegetation. Not kidding. I asked them when they came out, do you know what riparian vegetation looks like? They said, the female affirmative action hiree said, no, I don't. Do you know what a class 1 stream is or a class 5 stream? No, I don't. That's affirmative action. They don't even know the difference between a running stream and a non-running stream. They're that stupid. They refuse to pick up a book called Forestry or Forest Management. They're that stupid. But they can play politics and wiggle their butt. I'm telling you what, they tried that on me and I said, get out of here. But anyway, the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that the Pebble mine is not going to go forward because there's salmon there, but yet they never did any fish surveys. They don't know if there's salmon there. They don't know if that lake's filled with moss or trout. They never did a survey. Why the Department of Justice does this is the Department of Justice is run by the British Authorized Registry, the BAR. So the King of England, the AI, the people on 10 Downing Street have told the Department of Justice to shut down mines in America, to kill us. They still hate America. Anyway, Trump is going to expose the fact that there are aliens everywhere. Well, duh, the Department of Justice. Hello. Totally demon-possessed. Those are aliens. And the Department of War is stretching its muscles. Oh, yeah, they're stretching their muscles from Seattle all the way to Great Falls, Montana, all the way down to southern Utah, St. George. It's snowing, but the snow isn't sticking. Pretty bizarre. Thank you, Department of War. And guess who released the, quote, bird flu that's killing tens of thousands of geese all across New Jersey, just like they did with Lyme's disease? Department of War is very busy, and they're still not retiring the 40,000 National Guard and Army Reservists. When I get a paycheck, when I'm retired, I'll let you know. Because 2 secretaries of defense have ordered my retirement. And Hank Seth has said, eat my shorts. You believe in God, and I don't. That's right. It's a spiritual war we're fighting. So when Hank Seth worships Lucifer and does not close the satanic temple at West Point, you know that he's 3 bricks shy of a full load, and Trump's going to reveal the aliens to us? What about the demon-possessed members in the Department of Justice and the Department of War? What about the fact that they're still conducting sacrifices right above the Stilcombe Ferry? The U.S. Army, 3-star and 2-stars, go to their human sacrifices every month. Torture the baby and then kill it. Anyway, speaking of which, Prince Andrew is King Charles's brother. King Charles is dead, so they had to take Prince Andrew out of action. So they stripped him of all royalty, which is illegal under the English laws and the Magna Carta. Totally illegal what they did. And then they arrested him on an 8,000 square foot home and 25,000 acres. Well, they handcuffed him, but then they stripped him of all his royal titles. So when they announced King Charles is dead, which he died about a year ago, it's now all AI or a double with a mask. When they announced Prince Charles is dead, Prince WilliamMount can take the throne. But he's not eligible because Lord Lyon said he's not eligible, even though the demons were passed from the Queen of England to Prince William, which is why they had the 70-foot witches at the Olympics. What a perverted bunch of people. You know, those ski jumpers are getting injections up the hoo-hoo and putting clay up their ears so they can jump further in the ski jump contest? What a bunch of perverts. They ran out of condoms after 2 days. The Olympics is nothing but a pervert show. Anyway, I have no interest in watching a bunch of perverts. The Minnesota welfare fraud has been going on for 15 years, we just found out. The Ukrainian war has been going on since 2014. That makes 12, 14, 25, 12 years. They've been killing each other over there. And the Epstein murders, I'm listening to Congress, and I'm listening to this Weinstein who started all these perverted companies like Abercrombie Fitch, and he started the pervert Victoria's Secret, and he started these pervert companies which are now all going broke. Sells this stuff at Beck's department store, which is going broke. He's going broke now. He's not the richest man in the world. All those companies are going broke, so they're borrowing from the federal government. Hundreds of billions of your dollars. So they can stay in business. How do you think Victoria's Secret stays in business? The government sponsors porn. Federal Reserve gives the banks money. The bank give these companies billions in loans. They sponsor porn, which causes inflation. And you watch TV and go, hey, time to wake up, America. Time to throw the TV away and wake up. And so the Minnesota welfare has been going on for 15 years. The Ukrainian war for 12 years. The Epstein murders were in Congress 35 years ago. And the FBI announces, we found the funding source for all these terrorist organizations. Yeah, I told you who it was 5 years ago, FBI. What's the matter with you, Cash? But nobody's getting arrested. No Kings is still up. They haven't done one thing. Oh, we found the funding source. Really, Kash Patel? The guy who's going to try to kill Trump on the 23rd? But he's standing next to the Trump. Trump, you have a problem. You need to hire a warrior in the FBI, and you need to hire a warrior to run the Department of Justice who's loyal to you. Not some little wimpy member of the British Authorized Registry taking orders from some knight whose loyalty goes to King Charles, who's dead. Wake up, Trump. even if you're the 5'7" Trump. Wake up. Anyway, this is one of the most important court cases I've ever seen in my life. Forget about the Supreme Court ruling against tariffs. Trump will find another reason to do tariffs. He's already said he's going to find another reason to do tariffs. So, but the Supreme Court has said you can't have a tariff in a time of war under the Emergency Powers Act. The Supreme Court from their underground base in Denver has gone nutty wacko. So now the court's going nutty wacko. Radhi Patel, an illegal alien collecting $8,500 a month plus free medical plus free dental. While she's in jail, Social Security suspends her $8,500 a month. Oh my God, don't you feel so sorry for her? Anyway, this is Kern County, California, Bakersfield. She says, I'm going to kill all the people in the Bakersfield City Council. She says, if you don't do what I want you to do, I'm going to kill you. Well, that was 10 April 2024. So yesterday, 20 February 2026, 2 years later, speedy trial my rear. The Constitution was thrown out by the court system. It's an English maritime system. That's why the two fobs. The eagle on top, martial law, English maritime courts, the gold fringe, the flag of no nation flies in every court system. You walk in, you neither understand nor stand under it. You're an American citizen. You're under American law, not Bouvier law, not English maritime law. Sure, they arrest people based on that. Zig Heil. Come on, Comey, his daddy ran the Nazi SS. They killed 6 million people in the Holocaust. Rosenstein's daddy ran the Gestapo. Zig Heil. Of course the FBI is run by Nazis. Of course the Department of Justice is run by Nazis. Of course Trump doesn't have he has no mas pantalones. He doesn't have the guts to end that. Send in some words. We've already given you the solution to that, but you don't listen. You hear what we say, but you don't do what God says, because you went like this to God, and now God's going like this to you. So the Department of Justice just screwed you. The Department of War just released a virus to screw you. Don't you get it? Marco Rubio is screwing you. I don't know what Kennedy's doing. Kennedy's supposed to outlaw fluoride. He's still bouncing around letting Oreos hit the market. Yeah. Don't you love it? Don't you love it? Kennedy can't even outlaw a food. I think it's the most popular cookie in the world. I don't know. I used to love Oreos. Then I did this to him. Anyway, you can get the oil in the center of the Oreo cookie going because it's rapeseed oil. It's the same thing that kills you. It's called canola oil. It kills you. Shuts your liver down. Foods burn, man. Foods burn. So anyway, instead of going to jail, this Radhi Patel went to Superior Court judge in Kern County, California. And the Superior Court judge ruled, must have burned myself. They did a ruling that she was mentally insane, crazy. In other words, LIBTARDISm is a disease of being crazy. So they're going to send her through court-supervised mental illness classes. They might even commit her to a mental ward. So they have ruled that if you're a libtard lefty, you are now absolutely insane, crazy, nutty, brain gone to your maker, and you have to go through court-supervised mental illness classes. Of course, all charges will be dropped against her because she's an illegal alien. She will continue to get her $8,500 a month refugee pay from Social Security, along with 80 other million people. So, as of yesterday, speedy trial my rear. When does the court system ever follow the Constitution? But I'm an American citizen. Kiss your English maritime court goodbye. And if I go to court as an ambassador, like 2 federal judges and a U.S. prosecutor told me, the judge and the prosecutors are dead men. Seen it happen. You arrest me, the cops will be killed. That's why I opened the embassy. Fake country, maybe 16 treaties. We had land and a population, and my passport was stamped by a little country like the Ukraine. That's why the Southern Armies lost. If they'd have had any European country stamp their passport, they could have borrowed unlimited money from the Rothschilds and continued the Confederacy. But Lincoln was smart. He wouldn't let any of the Southern ambassadors get recognized. You can look up the Trent affairs, where a second lieutenant arrested 2 Confederate ambassadors, was hailed as a hero, given a medal. Then England went to declare war on the United States. Lincoln changed his mind and declared him as an idiot and sentenced him to some whaling boat out, some little teeny boat out west, where he couldn't make any more damage or any harm. You don't arrest ambassadors. That's why I can speak the truth on this show. Sure, they can eliminate me from video. Why not? Kash Patel has ordered it. Who knows how long I'll be on YouTube. But I've got 12 video channels now, and the word has gotten out that the United States government lawyers answer to the King of England, who's dead and is now an AI, who's run by the Rothschilds family, who hangs big gold effigies of the devil on their chest. Oh yeah, devil incarnate. And Trump's going to tell us about aliens. Why? To pacify us against the fact that he's killing the economy with all this refugee pay and all this illegal alien welfare. He's going to distract us because he has no mass pantalones and can't send them home. Dwight D. Eisenhower sent 15 million illegal aliens home in 9 months. Trump sent 2 million home in what, 14 months? Only they went home by themselves. He ain't done nothing. I mean, he's done a lot of good, but he hasn't done anything for the 53 million illegal aliens, which he says are in this country. Get some pants on, Trump, and get some guts. Contain the Department of Justice. Contain the Supreme Court, just like God showed you. And otherwise, you have no mass pantalones, and it's over. Pray that Trump puts his pants on. God bless. Thank you very much. And we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.